Got to wondering how high I was flying lately, so I had a look around for altimeters, and turns out the Eagle Tree version 4, which came out in 2011, appears to be the go-to device. So I bought one, not particularly cheap, but curious to see what's going on. So this is the result after the first flight. This is in feet, by the way, 2,692 feet, which I don't really believe. That's powered off the Bugs 3 8.3 volts coming out the headlight socket, by the way. So somewhat puzzled. There's a neighbouring motorcycle going by. So I plugged it into a little 4.5 volt single cell just to see if that made any difference. By the way, it's supposed to cope with between 4 and 16 volts. It warns you not to go above 16 volts. So I'm getting the same sort of numbers out of it, vaguely. I seem to see a variation there, so I plugged it back into the Bugs 3 8.3 volt again, and I'm getting a different result. This time 198 feet, which is much more likely. So plugged it back into the single cell to see if there's any consistency emerging from this random number generator. Again, you get the 0 and then you get the digits for the height. This time it's telling me 198, yep, seems to be the same. I've got it upside down. So I turned it over, and when I turned it over I got an L and an E, some kind of error message maybe. And I can see a 2 in there, so I flicked it back the way I had it before, and I'm now getting 192, which again is probably roughly where I was, but I'm a bit surprised with the way the numbers have been changing. So once more back on the Bugs 3 to power it with the 8.3 volts to see what sort of numbers I'm getting this time. It seems to have stabilised at 192. In fact, after this I plugged and unplugged a few times and it sat on 192. But I must admit I'm confused. Any thoughts?